Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hello, my name is Nisha and I teach watercolor and illustration tutorials. Today we're painting Bougainvillea. This is one of my most favorite ever. We'll start with a really light pink wash, and it's really going to stay a bit translucent. You can add in a few darker shades like the wet on wet technique just around the edges, and start with that really transparent layer, and then we'll build on that. So I'm starting with the first 3 layers, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of orange just to differentiate between the layers of leaves or the petals, and then keeping them still translucent but overlapping a little bit so you get a nice natural blending of colors. These are somewhat teardrop shaped, so they come to a rounded point, and then they're a little bit flatter towards the bottom where they attach to the branch. Okay, so mixing up a little green, I'm going to start putting in some of those stem pieces. So while the rest of it dries, we can add this. And then with a little bit more yellow in the green, you can put in some leaves. Now again, this is very translucent. We're staying really light in the beginning and build up our layers and our colors and details on the second and third layer. And I'm being careful here to not touch those pink areas. They're still a little damp. And no worries if it does touch. You can keep a paper towel on hand and dab up any extra paint that went where it shouldn't have gone. Okay, so now that that first layer has somewhat dried, we'll go in around the edges with a darker shade of pink. It's got a little bit of orange in it, mostly pink, and put in the edging, and then you can blend out with a clean wet brush and soften out some of those parts. And then continue doing the same technique on the back petals as well. I also have a link in the description of images of Bougainvillea, so take a look at those for a reference. And you can see they have very delicate veins and lines going through these petals, and they're really, really paper thin. To get a similar effect, I'm blending out only a few of the lines and keeping some of the delicate lines really sharp and crisp, and trying to get that similar effect of that paper thin petal. So after that's dried, I'm going in with my second layer of texture. So I'm wetting the edges of the petal with clean plain water, and then dropping in a little bit more color around the edges, and just letting that bleed out on its own and building up some more of that saturation. This is one of the reasons I love to start really light, because you can control how deep you want that color to go, and you can always add more. It's a lot harder to take away color. So this way you can take a look at your whole image and picture and decide the areas that you want to be stronger. You can also leave some really light and translucent, and you get a nice foreground background contrast that way as well. I'm also varying up the colors, so the top layers are a little bit more pink and the bottom ones lean a little bit more orange. Alright, I let that dry fully, and now I'm going in with some final details, which is darkening up a few of the vein areas, and then also adding a little bit more detail and texture onto the leaves. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had so much fun painting along. I'd love to see your work. If you post it, remember to tag me with @paperwand. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and if you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.